that our flag was still there.
1 week after celebrating our country's independence on the 4th of July, LaHabra residents honored the military men and women who fight to keep America free by welcoming the Wall That Heals, a traveling Vietnam War memorial to LaHabra High School.
It was an honor for me to be a commander at this time when the Vietnam Memorial Wall came to LaHabra. And it's a one chance in a lifetime, and it's never going to happen again.
Residents lined the curbs of Idaho Street as the memorial approached Wednesday with a police escort. The wall's arrival was the culmination of 2 years of planning by the American Legion Post 267 and an executive committee that was created to plan and coordinate the weekend-long event.
Finally, earlier this year, we did receive notification from Washington that we'd been selected for the wall to come here. And we felt it was only appropriate that it be here at LaHabra High School Stadium, the same place where a lot of those names on that wall from LaHabra graduated from the same field.
An opening ceremony was held Thursday at the LaHabra High School football stadium with a presentation of colors by the Junior ROTC program, a military flyover, and remarks by Raul Luna and Mayor Pro Tem Tom Beamish.
It makes me feel great that we're able to provide a format to honor those Vietnam veterans that died so many years ago. The people that aren't able to travel to Washington, D.C., and that was one of my goals that I saw, if we can get this here, it's great, because I'm sure there's those that have not seen the actual wall but can symbolically see it right here.
The wall was then opened to the public. Adjacent to the wall near the far goalpost at the stadium was a mobile museum with information about the memorial in Washington, D.C., pictures of fallen soldiers, and a directory where people could locate names on the wall.
We have an alphabetical listing of all the names that are on the wall, and just like I said, the city that's in the alphabetical listing is their home of record, which may not be their home. I do have two on there, and I knew who they were. They were both killed on May the 12th, 1967, during a mortar and a rocket attack at Benoit Air Base, where I was stationed.
The memorial is called the Wall That Heals because many Vietnam veterans have had a hard time coping with not only the horrors of combat, but the ridicule they faced upon returning home from an American public that largely opposed the war.
I got out in 1972, and it took me 5-6 years to recognize, because people thought the Vietnam people or veterans, we shouldn't have went over there, and they used to spit on you and call names. And it took a while for me to have to tell people, open up, that I was in the war and stuff like that.
It gives thanks to those of us who served in Vietnam, thanks that many veterans never received on their homecoming, because it was a very different war. It was very controversial, and in the end, it divided this country.
Family and friends of the fallen soldiers listed on the wall placed mementos of love and appreciation below the names of their loved ones. Loretta Molina, a LaHabra resident, brought her grandchildren with her to honor the memory of her cousin Michael Molina, who was slain in combat during the war. She fondly remembered growing up with Michael right here in LaHabra on the corner of 4th and McFadden.
All us kids would get together and play, and just have a good time together. It was such a shock to all of us, we just couldn't believe it. We went to my aunt's house to give our condolences, and there was really no words to say, when this time things like this happen, it's just, we just have to pray. We just have to pray to give the family the strength and pray for Michael too, and pray for Michael, yes.
Meet Ken Jakes, a LaHabra Heights resident and Marine Corps veteran of the Vietnam era. Jakes, who volunteered every day at the wall last weekend, saw that as an opportunity to face the past and to begin recovering from his grief. He's never visited the memorial in Washington, D.C. because
I couldn't handle the guilt of what I had just explained to you about why them and not me.
Jakes' daughter, Dorothy, who also volunteered to help coordinate the weekend-long event, is the one who encouraged Ken to participate as a docent because she thought it might help him open up about his experience in Vietnam, a subject he has long held quiet about.
But now he's not embarrassed to wear his baseball cap that has the USMC, and have people come to him and ask him when did he serve, before he kept that hidden.
One such memory Ken spoke with me about was his best friend, whose name is listed on the wall. It was difficult for him to speak about, but he did share some memories. And what was your relationship like with him?
Best friends.
Did you get
Best friends. We went through boot camp and everything together. So it's still very, very hard.
At this point, Ken asked that I turn off the microphone and that anything else we discussed be kept off the record.
He seems to be more emotionally fragile right now, so I think it has helped him, and he's admitted to walking up to the wall and finding the names of those people he didn't want to admit were there. But happily, a couple people he thought were there weren't. So that made him feel good that he doesn't know where they are, but at least they're not on the wall.
Emotions ran high Saturday night as a candlelight vigil was held to honor the fallen soldiers. Veterans and civilians alike came from all around to be a part of the memorial, including Melvin Marks, a Vietnam veteran who traveled all the way from Riverside.
I thought it was very moving, very touching, a good contrast for something that was long overdue.
While the audience spread the flame from one candle to another, family members of the 14 LaHabrans who fell in combat walked special candles over to their names on the wall. They were accompanied by members of the American Legion Post 267.
I thought it was a very fitting tribute, to a war that I think the nation forgot. And I was very young when he passed away, so I just remember going over to his mom's house when we found out he was killed. And I just asked my mom just the other day, was that true? Was I there? And she said, yeah. When we all found out as a family, we, gathered. And it's just sad that he never got to enjoy the rest of his life. None of these men here that are on the wall.
The weekend of healing and memories came to a close Sunday as the event's coordinators honored the sponsors who made this weekend possible. Those who donated $500 or more were called to the stage to receive a gift, which included a U.S. flag and a T-shirt to commemorate their support.
I'm just the person at the top that sort of oversees everything. The workers are plentiful, and they're the ones that should be congratulated for doing a terrific job.
Family members were then called to the stage to release doves to represent the fallen soldiers' journey to a peaceful afterlife. 14 doves were released, one for each LaHabran who fell in combat. A common theme among the veterans I spoke with was that while the wall may help to heal the unseen wounds, the pain and the scars of the war will always remain.
I kind of almost lost it a little bit a few times. It's hard. It's hard for me to talk about the Vietnam War. I am a Vietnam veteran, and I still can't really talk about it.
It's called The Wall That Heals. Have you experienced any kind of a catharsis in that way, or?
Not yet, no. I don't think I ever will.
It was a historic weekend for the city of LaHabra, and although the wall will now bring its healing to its next destination in Irvine, California, the residents and veterans of LaHabra will surely never forget. Reporting from LaHabra, Cameron Reed.